you're wondering what she is my 04 Subaru STI that I just slapped in a fully built motor, ETS turbo kit, 64mm turbo, and here in 6 days, one of you guys will win this car. If you've ever wanted an STI, now's your chance. Hit the site, $30 spent is one entry. Only 6 days left on this giveaway. Today is first start on the fully built STI. I'm not leaving the shop until this car runs. At least just, even if it starts for a millisecond and dies, I'll be happy. This here is my fully built STI. Forged closed deck engine, ETS turbo kit, ETS intercooler kit, comp 6467, and over here is everything that we need to install to get this car running. Goodies from Radium, injectors, fuel pump, a new OEM Subaru item, a special gift. I wasn't supposed to buy this, but I did, from Torque Solution. Now this, we do not need to install to get the car running, but this is absolutely necessary for how all out I have been on this build. I just had to do it. And then a top feed fuel injector conversion kit from Radium. Pull this thing back down just a little bit to have full access to do all of the fuel system work. Injectors, all the fuel lines, the regulator, the rails, all that good stuff is much easier with the intake manifold off. Not to mention, it had to come off anyway. You guys will see later why. Up first, injectors. The injectors I'm running in this build are the Alpha Injection 1650 cc's. I have ran Alphas a few other times, always in the Honda world, twin turbo NSX, EM1 build, just a bunch of K-series stuff. I've never ran them on a Subaru. Very, very excited to see how Bader likes these things on a Subaru. And I'm also very proud to announce that guess what? I have hooked you boys up with a discount code. If you would like to get your own set of AI injectors, Alpha Injection injectors for your build, they make them for Subarus, Evos, Hondas, all the stuff that I'm into that you guys are probably into as well. They make injectors for. I'll slap the code on the screen. Use my code to save 10%, which is, say if a set of injectors are $1,000, $100 off by tossing in my code. And of course, it helps support the channel. Like I mentioned earlier, along with the top feed injectors, you're gonna need different rails. Radium makes, in my opinion, the best top feed conversion rails for this application. So of course, that's what we went with. I'm gonna do a light pre-assembly on these beautiful rails. I cannot get over how little they are. Subaru fuel rails are the smallest things in the world. So grab one of these countersunk Allens, which fits very nicely in the rail. That goes through. One of the plastic spacers goes on like so, and then take an O-ring, slap it on the bottom down here, and this is so the bolt and spacer and rail stay together. So let's go ahead and toss these guys on the car. Rails, AI 1650s, plug and play adapters. I like to use some lube on all of the O-rings. If they get pinched, they leak. Leaks are no fun. I did not think we were gonna run into a problem this big. I'm having a big problem here, and it's due to my lack of knowledge. Simple as that. So basically, these are considered 07 plus top feed style TGV housings. I was under the impression the TGV housings themselves, 04 to 06, 07 to 21 were all the same. That is not the case. So the problem is our rails that we ordered are top feed conversion rail, not an actual top feed rail. What that means, all the spacing is different. The spacing for the injectors and the spacing for the bolts are different. These rails don't freaking work. I need to order different rails and get them overnighted. This is a problem when you know Evos too well, and Subaru's not good enough. Second option, and I know the California people will love this, run the OEM TGVs. It's currently 5 p.m. Overnighting a set of new rails will take 2 days because they'll ship tomorrow. If I install the OEM TGVs, which will work with everything here that we have, the rails and injectors will work fine on these. then first start is tonight. And not to mention, I know the California people or whatever dumb state need the TGVs on the car anyway. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead, get the OEM TGVs assembled with the new injectors, new rails, get them bolted on the car and move forward with the build. I'm not gonna wait. OEM TGVs are back on with the radium rails and the injectors. Now we can move forward with getting all of the fuel lines built. Here's what the factory lines look like and the factory rails and OEM injectors. None of that, of course, is going to work with our new setup. And that is where this guy comes into play. This looks very, very straightforward. We have a bunch of 45s, a straight, a 90. I know these guys right here are gonna go right into the ends of the rails right there. And then the hose itself. This should only take a few minutes. Let's rip a quick time lapse and get her done. The entire fuel system, other than the fuel pump out back, is now complete. All the lines are built, injectors are in, rails are in, regulators mounted down here, fuel pressure gauge mounted there. I'm gonna go ahead, key on the ignition, pressurize the system, make sure we don't have any leaks, and move on from there. Fuel system is absolutely dialed, nothing else to do up front. Now there's one thing I said I wouldn't do, I wouldn't spend the money on, but I done did it. The other day, I went through all the hassle of powder coating the OEM intake manifold, and it turned out amazing. After getting the OEM red manifold back on the car, I wasn't in love with the color combo. It looked good, so I went ahead and splurged on a Torque Solutions Big Runner, very beautiful black intake manifold for the car. Does the car need it? Absolutely not. Does it want it? Do I want it? Absolutely. That right there is the gist of how it's gonna look. Now guys, we have a lot more to do in this bay to get it cleaned up and looking perfect. I promise you, the vision that I have for this thing, it'll make sense here in a few days when we get all of the parts installed. For now, let's focus on getting the top of this engine buttoned up with the intake manifold, and I went ahead, I'm ditching this harness. This is the OEM harness. I went out and bought a brand new OEM harness. These things just get brittle over time. You can have a brand new OEM harness for a couple $100. Wiring issues are the one thing I hate dealing with. And with how brittle a lot of these connectors are, man, I decided, let's just go out, buy the brand new OEM harness and put that on the car. I already hear the comments. I already see the comments. Devin, why would you buy this intake manifold when you're running a stock exhaust manifold? I'll discuss that later. For now, let's just focus on what we're doing. So this is what a new OEM harness is supposed to feel like. Not all stiff and brittle and crusty. This, my friends, is so nice that they still make. I just had to get it. If we were to run the OEM manifold, we would bolt this to the bottom of that. Of course, that is not the case. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and get this on the engine. Every connector can be connected besides the throttle body, which of course bolts right there. Everything else can be nice, cleaned up, tucked away. And then the icing on the cake, the beautiful Torque Solution manifold will go on. All of the wiring is buttoned up. It's ran identical to the factory location. Only difference is now it's not mounted to the bottom of the intake manifold. Let's go ahead and get this guy slopped in place. Up first is the block that goes on the bottom. This has all the ports on it for all of the boost references. BOV, fuel pressure regulator, boost gauge, map sensor, so on and so forth. I set the camera down and just knocked out all the plumbing for all the vacuum sources on the entire setup. I'll be completely honest, I don't know how much longer my eyes can take this giant eyesore on the front of the engine. Yeah, I know there's an alternator cover that covers some of that, but dude, it's a brand new setup. Look at the turbo, look at the manifold. That is hideous. The problem is, to replace all those with OEM, $1,600 for new, it's insane. Let's toss on the throttle body, intercooler piping, intake, and then boys, we are on to fluids. Good old fluids in a start. So here's what we're going to do as far as gauges for tonight. It's freaking late. I don't have time to wire in all 3 wideband oil pressure boost. I'm gonna put a manual oil pressure gauge on it just for the first start. It'll take a few seconds. I'm gonna pop the alternator off, remove the factory oil pressure sender, screw in our manual gauge, which looks like this, good old Harbor Freight special. I tend to use this thing for a lot of first starts because first starts are always on a night like tonight where it's super late and to wire in all the gauges is gonna take a couple hours. So I'll toss this guy on, go ahead, build some oil pressure. We got to get the base map on the car, get that Johnny loaded up, start up the car. As soon as I hear this thing run, I'm content for the night. I just want it to run, and that's it. Let's get her done. We do run the bigger torque solution pan on this engine, so it does take 6.5 quarts of oil, but the VR1 2050 is in. Crank sensor is disconnected, so it won't start. Fuel pump is disconnected, so there's no fuel. Main goal and only goal right now is to build oil pressure. I have the manual gauge ran up to here, so I can crank it and watch. So we got the pressure. Now all we need to do is plug in our crank sensor, plug in our fuel pump relay. The base map is loaded up. Here goes nothing. First cold start for the boys. Fully built STI. Let's get her done. Have I created? Oh my goodness, I can't run it long, but boys, she's alive. That was the easiest. I gotta shut it off. Oh my goodness, that was the easiest brand new engine startup I've ever had in my life. My golly, it like cranked, wanted to start, cranked again, fired right up. And it sounds so good, dude. These are big cams. It's a big camshaft. Met my goal. First start out of the way. That was a lot of work, a lot of finagling with the TGVs and all that junk this morning. First start is done. Car sounds incredible. We have a lot of things to get done before I can actually run it for a long time. Go drive the car would be ideal. I need all the gauges. I've of course need an alternator back on it, cooling system. That's really about it. It is way too late tonight to do any of that. I'm speechless. Even though this car is not staying here, it's going home to one of you, I'm speechless. I'm so excited and so happy with how this thing is coming out. There's a few things that are pissing me off. Let's run through them real quick. Exterior wise, love it. Love the wheels. You guys already know either the NTO3s or the BBSs come with the car. In the engine bay compartment though, it's really bugging me. Two things. I don't like that this black is different than all the other black in the bay. This is like a satin black. That's a nice wrinkle black. I don't know about that yet. And then of course, the power steering, AC, and alternator. Power steering, not so bad. Alternator and AC compressor are freaking crusty as all get out. And it really, really bugs me. I don't care how beautiful the rest of this car is, dude. It's just junk. That's junk. Nonetheless, gonna wrap up the video right here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Whoever wins this car, please take care of it. Or if you know you're gonna, or if you win and you know you don't care for the car, just take the cash. That's what the option's there for. Good night.